Episode 13, Alex's Quiet Observation. Varuni ended the call with a sharp tap on her phone's screen, her knuckles white. The echoes of her mother's tirade vibrated in the silent kitchen, leaving a bitter taste in her mouth. The brief moment of peace she had cherished was gone, replaced by a familiar, simmering anger. Her movements became clipped and efficient as she finished her preparations for the day, the smooth rhythm of her morning ritual now jagged and forced. Downstairs, by the grand portico where her black luxury sedan awaited, Alex stood motionless. He had been conducting his routine check of the vehicle when the sound of a raised, agitated voice had carried faintly through an open window from the kitchen wing. He couldn't decipher the words, but the tone was unmistakable. It was the sharp, grating voice of Shanti, Varuni's mother. He had heard it enough on her infrequent but always disruptive visits to recognize it instantly. A few minutes later, Varuni emerged from the house. Her face was a mask of cool professionalism, but Alex, trained to notice the details others missed, saw the subtle tells. The slight tightness around her eyes, the rigid set of her shoulders, the way her fingers were clenched almost imperceptibly around the handle of her briefcase. He knew the source of her agitation without needing to hear a single word of the conversation. As she approached, he moved with practiced smoothness, opening the rear passenger door. Their eyes met for a fraction of a second as she prepared to get in. In that fleeting moment, his gaze was steady, neutral, betraying nothing. He was simply the bodyguard, performing his duty. "Good morning, Ms. Varuni," he said, his voice a calm, even baritone. "Alex," she responded, her tone clipped, offering nothing more as she slid into the plush leather seat. He closed the door with a soft, solid thud, a sound that seemed to seal her inside with her turmoil. As he walked around to the driver's side, he took one last look at the house. He was the cause of her mother's scorn and, by extension, Varuni's morning misery. It was a role he had accepted, a piece of the larger, unseen burden he carried every day. He started the car, and they pulled away in a heavy, suffocating silence. He was the silent observer of her pain, a pain he was, in a way, complicit in causing.